Alright, so hello and welcome to Bay 1. This is Maraxi. I'm doing something a little bit different to start off with the stream today. I'm actually in the middle of setting everything up. So I'm basically it's kind of doing almost a show and tell how I have my setup. The entire process that goes into streaming and stuff like that. So I don't know if this will help anyone, but yeah, why not live stream it? Do everything else. So anyway. First thing I've got to do is set up my green screen back here, and hopefully the microphone audio is acceptable. This is actually something that I built myself out of some PVC piping. You can already see I've got the main support pipe here. There's a base down there. Let's see if I can move the camera, which I've actually had to put a box on to anchor it because it needs some weighting. But there's literally just a little crossbar down here, which is all held together with bolts, so it's pretty secure. And you can see the green screen at the bottom there as well, so there's no filters on here at the moment, so you'll actually be able to see everything. So I have to actually get this set up, and now I need to find the other crossbar. So I created this just to make it, it's a relatively quick assembly and disassembly. Overall, this entire green screen setup cost me about $70, I think. So it was a lot more cost effective than anything else I could find on the market that was, $300-400 for something that I didn't know if I was really going to be using it that much. So the only problem is getting everything lined up just correctly, because I have to be able to get the bolts back through here to make sure it's nice and stable and secure. Try that again. There we go. So it'd probably be safe enough without the additional bolt in there, but it helps to keep everything actually anchored properly. And now you can't see my face because it's absolutely way too far down. There we go. Anyway, so yeah, I've now put the bolt in there. This is actually fixed on properly. I was having a little bit of trouble getting the holes aligned up, but there we go. And it is a little bit wobbly, but you're not going to be walking into it all the time, so it doesn't need to be ultra stable. And this is the actual green screen, which I still need to get this sewn together. At the moment, it is pinned along the length with about 30 pins. But yeah, this piece of fabric costs something like 15 bucks, so there we go. So now I just have to actually get that hung up. And for that I'm using these Gorilla clips, which these keep breaking. These are actually pretty crap. I need to get some metal ones because these have a tendency just to break and explode. And now I just have to make sure I actually get the fabric stretched across properly, otherwise all of the wrinkles that you see in here will show up on the screen. And now you'll see where, if I put the camera down, it's kind of a mess on the floor, so I've actually got some weights that I put under the bottom just to actually help get rid of some of these additional seams. So let's take care of that. So you'll see it's still not quite perfect. So if I move the camera around that way, it doesn't turn super well. You'll see where I've got this pull coming on this side. Probably means I actually need to move the base an inch or so away from the wall. And then most of this can actually be removed just by rotating the clip to help the fabric be stretched. Actually, what's going on there? Now, part of the problem I've got is because one of the clips actually broke. I did have lots of spares, but now it's trying to anchor the entire setup with 3 clips doesn't work quite as well as it should. Alright, that'll do, that's good enough. So now if I switch over to the main camera, you'll see it's quite dark in here, and the green screen's not quite working as it should do. And that's because I need to turn on the auxiliary lighting. So let's switch back to where we are, and I'll move the camera, and you'll see I've actually affixed some lights to the walls. So these were I think $15, $19 from Walmart each, so I've got 2 of those. I've also got a backlight there, which that's just for the room lighting, so I need to switch these on. And it takes about 30 seconds to a minute for the lights to actually warm up properly. That's the property of fluorescent lights. Once they're warmed up, then I'll actually be able to use the green screen function properly. But you'll see it's a lot brighter in here now. And if I switch back to the other camera, there you go. Now you can barely see the background. I mean, you can see a little bit of shadowing coming up because I haven't quite got some of the creases out, so I have to try and work on that. Oh, actually, I know what the problem is. Because I've got the overhead light on, so let's turn that off. And now it's even worse. Wow. Go figure. Right. Anyway, that's good enough. And hi Ninderman, welcome to the stream. So yeah, this is obviously that's the green screen, so if I can get the camera further away, you can actually see it goes all the way to the wall there, where you've got my stream monitoring, and it's a pretty big setup. I wanted it to be this size mostly because in the event I have a guest, obviously my wife plays games and stuff as well. I do have enough desk space here to actually have more than one machine, although, you know, it's kind of dominated with my vast panoply of monitors. So this is my actual setup. You'll see on the, sorry, the sound's going to be a little bit weird. On the left, that is my secondary monitor. That's where I'm watching the OBS broadcast side of things, and you'll see OBS up on the screen. I've also got chat up in the corner, although you can't see that properly because I've got GIMP in the way. Let's move, sorry. Some of these around. I have to set this up and take it down every single time I do a broadcast, so because my wife gets somewhat upset. Anyway, so that's the secondary screen. These two screens are actually connected to the gaming machine, so I do stream directly from that machine. And you'll see you've got OBS here. I've also got in the background here, this is where I actually do the thumbnail setup, so I have to go and create thumbnails for every single stream. At the moment on the other monitor, which is the monitor I actually do the gaming on, you'll see I'm monitoring the stream itself, so you'll be able to see there's actually a pretty noticeable delay between what I'm saying and what shows up here. And then you'll go to these two screens. These are actually, this is a reclaimed laptop, which the keyboard on it doesn't work, so I've got another keyboard on there. The touchpad works, which is cool, and it's just running a development version of Windows 10. And this is the one that I actually do the stream monitoring on. So this is where I will be checking to make sure the stream's actually working, so I have a live feed on YouTube to make sure that the broadcast is going through. And then on the other monitor, this is where I'm controlling or checking the status of the different multicasting to Twitch, Hitbox, YouTube and Beam Pro. So that's the setup on that end. But yeah, that's an independent machine from the actual main gaming machine. And the box for that is underneath the desk. You can see the nice little Corsair glowy light, and there's a couple of what are they, 4 terabyte drives behind it on the floor in the corner. So that's where all of my network storage is. So I've got, I've got about 10 terabytes of storage on this setup. But anyway, sorry, camera is really shaky. It's, there we go. So yeah, that's what I would basically do on getting the initial side of things set up. And now what I have to do when I'm actually going through doing the initial research, getting, you know, finding the content for the stream. So I'm going to try and actually have this so that you can kind of see what's happening on the screen there. Well, I mean, I don't have kids, so, and I've work in a relatively decent job, so I've actually got the funding, although again, my financial controller, aka wife, doesn't necessarily agree all the time with the streaming side of things, so, you know, it's time. Anyway, let's get the lights turned down a bit. And also there's this microphone which I've got on the desktop. This isn't what I actually use as the main mic, but this is what I would use if I'm doing or recording group sessions. So the actual headset is there. Oh yeah, forgot to show you. This is the keyboard I use. So I've actually got a Logitech G500 for the mouse on a hard pad. I don't like the soft mouse pads. And it's got the armrest. This I have here because otherwise I get, your wrist just starts to hurt because it's not being supported properly. And then you got the keyboard there, which is the SteelSeries Merc Stealth, and it's pretty blurry. Which I prefer this because it's got the butterfly keypad section. I would have liked to have been able to get the butterfly section on its own, but it's just not available. In terms of an actual production keyboard, it's not great for doing work, but for gaming, I like it. I never had a problem with ghosting or anything like that. It's very responsive. And then, of course, you can see, you know, a bunch of discs and stuff, which, you know, why anyone has those, they're just left over. But anyway, so back to the other stuff that I have to do to set up a stream. So you're not really going to be able to see the screen all that well here, but it's more a matter of showing you the kind of stuff that I have to play about with. Okay, I'm trying to get that somewhat steady. So where do I start? Let's go to, if I'm doing a stream on Rovercraft, I have to bring up the website, go through, look at what the latest updates are. So we've got an Alienware mask giveaway, community spotlight, Robo News, Clan Party hotfix. So it means that some updates have been released for the Clan Party stuff. And those were actually released relatively, one of them was relatively soon after, but the other one is just a generic hotfix. So I'm going to have to bring up the information on those in 2 tabs and make sure I get these zoomed in. So now that's zoomed in so that I'd be ready to actually bring up the Firefox window, which is around here somewhere. It would help if I'm actually looking at the right window, because at the moment you're looking at you're looking at the cam test screen. So to actually bring up Firefox on here, that's what enables me to, so basically I'm doing full screen capture, although it's restricted to Firefox, and that's how I then bring it up on the stream. But anyway, next part would be trying to find some kind of cover image that I can use. In this case, the only thing that's got some kind of graphical overlay would be the latest Robo News thing, so it's bringing that up on the screen, zooming in. So what I'm going to do is go to view image info and save that image. Somewhere on my machine. That'll be, where is it? Here we go. Search Robo News Clans. And then bring up GIMP, where the hell did that go? So file, open. Technically yes, but in terms of these are there's never been any issues with this, but if a free jam came along and said no, you can't use that, you have to take it down, then I'd certainly do that. But they actually take pictures, etc., a lot of their own stuff. So as I'm promoting the game, usually you can get away with it. But if there are any copyright issues, yeah, you're right. Are there copyright issues with that? Yes, technically. But because you're using free jam assets to promote their product in many ways, then they let you get away with it. So, but some games or some publishers are a lot more strict on that, so you have to create your own assets. But yeah, and some of these things are part of their media packs or anything like that. But basically, because you're using it in context with a review, which the limitations or the restrictions on that in terms of freedom of speech and fair use are a lot more lax. Now, if I was literally taking these assets and using them, no, you can't see my face. Let's switch the camera. sorry. Yeah, if I was literally taking these assets and using them to try and sell something else, then that would be another issue entirely. But anyway, hello to Brazil. Buongiorno brasileiro. I don't know, I can't speak Portuguese. So anyway, so what I was going to do was I was going to open up that file wherever the hell I saved it. It was the most recent one. There we go. And let's switch back to the other camera. And let's zoom in on this a fair amount. So I just want to copy mostly just the image section in the middle there. So I'm just going to grab this. And paste it as a new image. And then scale that up because I need it to be 720 pixels in width. So you lose some quality by doing the scaling side of things. Also, I mean, with the copyright side of things, there's also an argument for what you're doing being transformative. I'm going to see if I can actually put the other camera in the bottom corner here, because I should be able to do something on that end. Yeah, I can still be the floaty head brigade. Anyway, so no, it's weird. You can see my hands behind my head. Ha ha ha. Yeah. The trick with this is, so long as you're not overtly trying to make money from it. I mean, you can make monetization from YouTube and stuff like that, but that's not my goal here. I'm not doing this to make money or anything like that. So, anyway, so on here so you can't really see that screen, but it's kind of shown there. I need to rescale that or crop the image so that it's only 1280 in height, because it's 1280 by 720 is what I do my thumbnails as. And then I want to copy that and bring up my other file, which you'll be able to see that better on this screen. I've actually got a whole list of different sections or different pre-configured layers in this file, and I'm using the GIMP. I'm not using Photoshop for this. So yeah, now that I've created that new image, I'm going to copy that and then make sure I've got the main layer for the background images selected, paste as a new layer. So I've got these grouped into layers and sub-layers, so now you'll see where that actually comes up. And I just realized that I didn't actually fix the shadow on the behind the scenes bit, so that actually comes up a little bit weird. Either way, doesn't matter because it was on a black background. Now I need to change the wording I'm using on here, so this would actually be toggling off the behind the scenes part. I actually need to go and make sure I delete the shadow layers that I created. And then going down to the patch notes or update commentary. So this is a patch notes thing, and also selecting the Robocraft logo from my list of logos. And now I can save out that thumbnail. And this will be channel thumb. What are we on? This was to do with what updates? The Clan Party hotfix update. I used the GIMP, so it's a completely free open source software. It's on a level with Photoshop in terms of the features and just what it can do. And you can actually find it at, I think it's, if you do, let me just find the actual website. Yeah, it's literally gimp.org. So let's go, I'll bring up the website on screen here so you'll see it. You should be able to read that, hopefully. But it's open source, it's available on multiple platforms. It was developed originally for Linux, but I use it on a Windows machine. I use Windows 7. I still haven't got Windows 10, and I don't plan on getting that until I absolutely have to. But yeah, it can do basically everything that Photoshop can do, although you do have to get some plugins, but most of those are free from the plugin repository anyway. So yeah. Saves having to pay out for the extortionate price for that software anyway. And so I'm going to call this Clan Party Hotfix for the thumbnail. No, I'm not saving it. I need to do a normal save and then export the layer. Clan underscore party. So I do save every single image that I create and all the videos. I don't save the videos on my local machine because I don't record locally. I stream directly to YouTube, so they're all on there. But I do have enough storage if I ever needed to. So this was Clan Party Hotfix. Clan Party. At 100% quality, and now I need to bring up YouTube. Log on to my channel, and then under live streaming I would need to go in here and actually change the thumbnail. I can actually do this in the middle of a live stream. I don't really like doing that though. I'm going to have to wait until I cut this section and actually cut to doing the proper stream probably, but let's just upload and see what happens. There we go. Okay, so that's now uploaded and updated and ready to go. I can now close out the GIMP because I can't close it out because I need to take this background. Which did I close it? No, it's there. I need to save that as well. So export that as _BG. Again, 100% quality. And now I need to bring that up in the channel settings. So I just had to switch from here. And I've got a background called I've got multiple different backgrounds preset. So then what I'd be doing here is changing the actual background so that it then becomes a layer behind the image, behind the logo there. And then for Robocraft, I'd turn on the relevant logo. So I've got the Robocraft logo already in there, Tactical Craft Online, which I've played once or twice, other different games like PlanetSide. I still need to add some additional things on here, and I've also got preset layers for various features. But anyway, let's switch back to here. So yeah, that's pretty much... Windows 10 is a mixed bag. It's good overall, but in terms of a productivity environment or something like that, it really still doesn't even match up to Windows 7. I use Windows 8.1 at work because I'm kind of forced to. I would prefer to operate on Windows 10 because it's closer to Windows 7, but to be honest, there's no need to upgrade to Windows 10 for production. For a home user, maybe, but I do a lot of work type things, and I just prefer 7. It works better. Anyway, so that's basically what I do to set things up. System specs on this are below every single stream, but it's an i5 3570K. It is currently, the clock on that varies. It depends on what I'm doing. It depends on the game. But if I need to do a more graphically intensive game, I'll actually increase the clock to something a little bit more effective. Otherwise I let it rest at the normal clock rating. So by default it's running at the standard clock ratings, but when I'm streaming or something like that, I'll actually increase the clock, especially doing more intensive games like my brain is dead. More intensive games like PlanetSide or Elite Dangerous or something like that, then, or even War Thunder, I'll increase my core clock because it just helps reduce some of the overhead that's required for playing the game and then doing the simultaneous stream rendering from the local machine. But anyway, so that's basically the setup, and I am going to be doing a brief update on Robocraft, and then the other game that I'm going to be playing will be, I've actually been taking a look at Elder Scrolls Legends. So I'm planning on doing a, somewhat short, maybe an hour on Elder Scrolls Legends, and then also doing War Thunder. So those are the two games I'm actually going to be playing after I've done the Robocraft updates. So anyway, that's pretty much it for this segment. Thank you for everyone for tuning in, watching, all of that stuff. But yeah, I don't know if this is really going to help anyone or anything like that. It's just, it's a little bit more of an insight onto what goes into setting up. God, it's really not picking up the light properly there because my other light's not on. There you go. So now the green screen actually works. Now you can see my hands in the background. It's crazy. But yeah, so yeah, that's really what it comes down to in terms of needing to do the stream setup and everything like that. And it's really bizarre, the fact that I've got everything behind me. That's kind of creepy. What am I doing? I need to fix the camera now. Whee! I'm floating around the screen. No. Yeah, I did. I just got huge. Anyway, so, and you can see when my shoulder's being cut off. That's because I usually don't have the secondary camera on. Yeah, basically I've got two C825s, I think they are. They're, or 520 somethings. They're two Logitech cameras. But yeah, I usually don't have the other one plugged in. It's just, I have it. Because I was messing around with doing some depth perception pickup using different cameras and messing around with software for that. So anyway, but yeah, I'll be playing Elder Scrolls Legends after I've done the little Robocraft update, and then after that it'll be War Thunder. So planning on streaming for the next couple of hours. But anyway. Thank you very much for watching. I hope this has been helpful for some people, and I'll be back in a few minutes with the Robocraft update. Alright, goodbye.